You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Tuesday, August the 4th, 2020. The Red Sox and Orioles played each other in an AL East matchup, and the Red Sox won by a hefty margin, 11-1, the final score. The Red Sox started scoring early. They got 4 runs in the third inning. They got 3 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, and 2 in the ninth inning to total their 11. The Orioles scored their first and only run in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Red Sox got 14 hits as compared to the Orioles getting 9. Nathan Eovaldi got the win. Alex Cobb got the loss, his 14th of the season, and Martin Perez was able to earn a save in this one. The Yankees beat the White Sox by a 5-1 final score. The Yankees scored early, putting up a run in the first. They also got a run in the sixth, and then 3 runs in the seventh inning to put up 5. Then the White Sox scored 1 in the top of the ninth inning, but it was too little, too late. They ended up losing. James Paxton got the win, and Gio Gonzalez got the loss. The Rays and Blue Jays played each other in an AL East matchup, and the Rays won by a 4-0 final score. The Rays got 2 in the fourth and 2 in the sixth inning, which was plenty because the Blue Jays didn't score at all. Blake Snell got the win, Tanner Roark got the loss, and Jose Alvarado now has 3 saves on the season. The Indians and Twins played each other. This an AL Central matchup, 5-1, the final score of this game. The Indians came out on top. Both teams scored in the second inning, but then the Indians broke out with a 3-run fifth inning. They also got a run in the seventh, total 5. Carlos Carrasco got the win, and Kenta Maeda got the loss, just his second of the season. The Cardinals and Royals played each other in a rematch of the 1985 World Series. The Royals won this game like they won the 1985 World Series, but 4-1 the final score. No team scored more than 1 run in any given inning. It was tied at 1 going into the bottom of the 6th inning, but then the Royals scored 1 in the 6th. They also got 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th inning to give themselves a 3-run cushion, which they held on to. Danny Duffy got the win, Carlos Martinez got the loss, and Ian Kennedy is now up to 22 saves on the season. The Giants and Tigers played each other. This is an interleague matchup. The Tigers won this game 15-3. The Tigers have been hot recently, and they beat down a Giants team that has struggled all season. The Tigers started scoring right away in the bottom of the first. They got 1 run in the first inning. They got 3 in the second, 3 in the third, and then broke out for 5 runs in the 5th inning, and they weren't done then. After that, they got 2 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th inning. They won by 12 runs in this one. Daniel Norris got the win, Derek Rodriguez got the loss, and Ivan Nova found a way to get a save, his 5th of the year. AL West baseball played between the Texas Rangers and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Angels won this game by a 6-4 final score, even though the Rangers out-hit the Angels 10-9. The Rangers also committed 2 errors in this game. But it was scoring back and forth. The difference maker in this one was the fact that the Angels scored 2 in the bottom of the first inning, because if that didn't happen, the game would have been tied after the 4th and then tied at 4 after the 8th inning. But the 2 runs separated these 2 teams, allowing the Angels to win in regulation. Ty Buttrey got the win, Brett Martin got the loss, and Hansel Robles now has 33 saves on the season. More AL West baseball played between the Mariners and the Athletics. Final score of this game, 5-3. The Athletics won. The Mariners had an early lead. They got all 3 of their runs by the end of the 3rd inning. But then the Athletics broke out for 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they tacked on 1 in the 8th for good measure, able to win by 2. The Athletics the top team in the AL West, and the Mariners the bottom team. But Mike Fiers got the win, Taijuan Walker got the loss, and Liam Hendricks earned his 38th save of the season. Interleague play between the Diamondbacks and the Astros, 2 teams fighting for wildcard spots. The Astros won this game, game 1 of a 2-game set, 5-0. Zach Greinke got the win against one of his former teams, and Robbie Ray, a former All-Star, he got the loss in this one, his 7th of the season. The Braves and Cubs played each other 5-1. The final score of this game, the Braves came out on top. Neither team scored more than 1 run in any given inning, but the Braves just had more ones on the board throughout their scoreline, and that allowed them to win by 4. Mike Fultonevich got the win, and Jarrell Cotton got his first loss of the season after winning 10 straight games on the mound. The Reds and Phillies played each other, and the Phillies came out on top 9-7 the final score. This game was pretty even. Each team had 11 hits, and scoring went back and forth. The Reds scored 6 runs by the end of the second inning, while the Phillies got 3 in the first inning. Then the Phillies kept piling on. They got 3 in the 5th and 3 in the 7th. Total their 9 runs. It was 9-6 up until the top of the 9th when the Reds put up a run to make it 9-7, but they still fell short by 2. Deolis Guerra got the win, Cody Reed got the loss, and Adam Morgan now has 3 saves on the year. NL East baseball between the Marlins and the Nationals, and the Marlins won this game 1-0, the final score. Jordan Yamamoto got the win. Max Scherzer got the loss. He gave up the run that was scored by the Marlins in the 7th inning, and then Brandon Kintzler was able to earn the save in the top of the 9th inning. He got his 31st of the season. The Brewers and Pirates played each other, NL Central baseball, and the Brewers won by a 1-0 final score. That one run was scored in the top of the 4th inning. Eric Lauer got the win, Joe Musgrove got the loss, and Corey Knebel earned a save. In the bottom of the 9th inning, he now has 11 on the year. The Mets and Rockies played each other. 3-1 was the final score of this game. Runs came at a premium. The Rockies were able to earn some more than the Mets did, and the Rockies ended up winning by 2. Kyle Freeland got the win, Marcus Stroman got the loss, and Wade Davis is now at 26 saves on the year. And the Padres and Dodgers played each other. Close game, NL West matchup. The Dodgers won this game 1-0. Walker Buehler pitched a shutout. His record is now 15-2. Dinelson Lamet now 7-9 after getting the losing decision on the mound. And Kenley Jansen, one away from 40 saves. He's at 39 now. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees have won 6 games in a row. They're 71-42, still leading this division, and they have a large lead now because the Blue Jays got cold recently. They're on a 4-game losing streak. 61-53 is their overall record, and they're 10.5 games back of the Yankees now. The Rays are 57-56, over 500 once again. They've won 2 games in a row, and they're 14 games back of first place. The Red Sox have fallen to 4th. They're 56-57, 15 games back of first place. And the Orioles still in last. They're 44-69, 27 games back of the Yankees for first place. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins still have the best record in baseball, but they ended their winning streak today after losing to the Indians. They're still at the top of the division, though. They still have the best record in baseball. Again, 78-37 is their overall record. The White Sox are 65-49. They're 12.5 games back in second place. The Indians, 62-52, 15.5 games back. The Tigers, 49-65. They won today. They're 1 win away from 50. They're 28.5 games back of the Twins. And the Royals have won 3 games in a row. They're on their way to 40 wins, but right now their overall record is 38-75. They're 39 games back of first place. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics won today. They beat the Mariners, and they're 1 win away from 70. 69-45 is their overall record. The Astros are 65-47, 3 games back of the Athletics. The Astros beat the Diamondbacks today, so the Astros keeping pace with the A's. The Angels are 52-63. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're 17.5 games back of first. The Rangers, 47-68 in 4th place. They've lost their last 2 games, and the Mariners in last. 46-69 is their overall record. They've lost 3 in a row, and they're 23.5 games back of the A's. Here are the wildcard standings in the American League right now. The Astros are the top wildcard team, while the White Sox trail by a game. 65-49 is their overall record. Then you have the Indians, who are sticking around. They're 62-52, 3 games out of that second wildcard spot. Blue Jays have gotten cold recently. They've lost their last 4 games. 61-53 is their overall record, and they're 4 games back of that second wildcard spot. The Rays have gotten hot recently. They moved into 3rd place in the AL East, and right now they're 7.5 games back of that second wildcard spot, and they have a winning percentage over 500. 57-56 is their record. Every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 8.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. In the National League East, the Atlanta Braves have caught the Washington Nationals. The Braves and the Nationals right now both at 63-51 records. The difference, though, is that the Braves are on a 6-game winning streak, and the Nationals have lost 4 in a row. The Marlins not too far behind first place either. The Marlins have won their last 2 games. They're 62-52 overall, and they're a game back of the division lead. The Phillies are 55-59. They're 8 games back of the division lead. They won today, and the Mets are still in last. They're 50-63, 12.5 games back of first, and they're on a 3-game losing streak. They've also lost 7 of their last 10. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals are still the leaders. They're 65-50. The Cubs, the next best team in the NL Central, 60-54 is their overall record. They're 4.5 games back, and they've lost 2 in a row. The Brewers are 51-62. They're 13 games back. They've won the last 2 games, though they've still lost 7 of their last 10. The Reds are in 4th. They're 47-66 overall, 17 games back of first place. And the Pirates have lost their last 2 games. They're 42-71, 22 games back of first place. And in the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 77-38. They've won their last 4 games. They've also won 7 of their last 10, and they're continuing to dominate this division. The Padres are the next best team. They're 61-54, 16 games back of first place. The Diamondbacks have lost 3 games in a row, still haven't gotten that 60th win yet. They're 59-54, 17 games back of first. The Rockies are 48-66, 28.5 games back. They've won their last 3 games, though, and the Giants are 44-69, 32 games back of first place. And right now, the Rockies 20 games away from being eliminated from division contention, and the Giants are 17 games away from being eliminated from being able to win the division. The National League wildcard standings look like this. The Braves, 63-51, as well as the Nationals. They both lead the NL East, which qualifies them both for the lead in the wildcard standings as well. The Marlins are a game back of both the Braves and the Nationals in the NL East, and a game back of them in the wildcard standings right now. So 3 NL East teams right now leading the wildcard standings. Then you have the Padres from the West, 61-54 is their overall record. They're a game and a half back of the Marlins wildcard spot right now, the second wildcard spot on this standings board. The Cubs are 60-54, 2 games back. They're still in contention, though they've lost their last 2 games. The Diamondbacks still hanging around as well, though they're on a 3-game losing streak. They're 59-54, 2.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. And every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 7 games back of that second wildcard spot. Let's take a look at league leaders now, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera still has the highest average. He's at a 345, but his has gone down recently. That's allowed Miguel Andujar to catch up a bit. Andujar has the second best batting average, 2 points behind Cabrera's at a 343. And JD Martinez rounds out the top 3 with a 336. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the highest with a 348. Christian Yelich 4 points behind him at a 344. And Nolan Arenado third best average at a 342. Hits leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar has the most with 159. JD Martinez second most at 153. And Miguel Cabrera third most with 152. In the National League, Jonathan Villar, the leader with 160, 13 behind him. Ronald Acuna Jr. has 147, and Marcus Semien and Nolan Arenado tied with the third most hits. They're both at 144. At bat leaders in the American League, Jose Abreu has the most, 464, and in the National League, Jonathan Villar has the most with 477. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon has the most with 39, 1 behind him, Jose Abreu, who has 38, and 1 behind him, Miguel Andujar, who has 37. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 48. 11 behind him is Christian Yelich, who has 37, and Juan Soto has the third most with 32. Triples leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi has the most with 8. Adam Eaton and Jose Altuve tied with the second most triples. They're both at 6. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 13. Victor Robles has the second highest total with 8. Hunter Pence and Andrew McCutchen each tied with the third most triples. They're both at 7. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton has 39, Yohan Moncada, Chris Davis, and Nelson Cruz each tied with the second most. They're all at 32. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has 41 home runs, tying his single-season best from last season. Paul Goldschmidt has the second most home runs in the National League with 38, and Eugenio Suarez has the third most homers in the National League. He's at 31. RBI leaders in the American League, Chris Davis has passed Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He has 93 runs batted in. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. now second on this leaderboard with 92. Nelson Cruz and Miguel Andujar each tied with the third most RBIs in the American League. They're both at 87. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt still at 100 RBIs. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Eugenio Suarez each tied with the second most RBIs. They're both at 86. Run scored leaders in the American League, JD Martinez has the most with 86, and in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the most with 94. Stolen base leaders in the American League, Malik Smith has 27, Adalberto Mondesi has 25, and D. Gordon has 23. In the National League, Starling Marte has 39 stolen bases. 2 stolen bases above Trey Turner, who has 37, and Jonathan Villar rounds out the top 3 with 31. Walks leaders in the American League, Shin-Soo Choo has 71. Rhys Hoskins is also at 71. They're both tied for the top spot. And in the National League, Paul Goldschmidt, the leader in walks with 78. On-base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has a 421 OBP, Josh Bell second best with a 409, and Josh Donaldson third best with a 406. In the National League, Christian Yelich leads with a 442, Paul Goldschmidt has a 439, and Ronald Acuna Jr. is at a 428. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Justin Upton the leader with a 631 slugging percentage. Yohan Moncada has the second highest, he's at a 625, and Josh Bell third highest at a 618. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. is still the only one in Major League Baseball over 700 with his slugging percentage. He has a 740. Paul Goldschmidt the next highest at a 680, and Christian Yelich third highest at a 671. On-base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Josh Bell the leader with a 1.027, JD Martinez second highest at a 1.018, and Justin Upton third best with a 1.010. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a 1.168, Paul Goldschmidt has a 1.119, and Christian Yelich has a 1.113. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League, Lucas Giolito has the most with 13. Jake Odorizzi, Jordan Montgomery, Kenta Maeda, Zach Greinke, and Hyunjin Ryu all have 12. They're all tied with the second most. In the National League, Walker Buehler earned his 15th win today against the Padres. Steven Strasburg has the second most wins with 13. Jimmy Nelson, Madison Bumgarner, David Price, and Jack Flaherty all tied with the third most wins in the NL. They're all at 11. Losses leaders in the American League. 4 players tied with the least amount of losses. That's because Kenta Maeda lost his start against the Indians today. But Sean Manaea, Kenta Maeda, Masahiro Tanaka, and Chris Bassett all have 2 losses. In the National League, Walker Buehler, the only pitcher with 2 losses among those that qualify, and that makes him the leader on this list. Saves leaders in the American League, Liam Hendricks has 38, 2 behind him, Roberto Ozuna, who has 36, and Brad Hand has the third most, he's at 35. In the National League, Kenley Jansen leads with 39, he passed Craig Kimbrell. Kimbrell now second best on this leaderboard with 38 saves, and Giovanni Gallegos, Will Smith, and Kirby Yates all tied for third best with 37. ERA leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has a 2.49 earned run average, Kenta Maeda second lowest at a 2.59, and Aaron Savali rounds out the top 3 with a 2.69. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the lowest at a 2.04, Marcus Stroman second lowest at a 2.30, and Steven Strasburg third lowest at a 2.49. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Kenta Maeda has allowed 9. He's allowed the least amount among pitchers to qualify. And in the National League, Marcus Stroman and Carlos Martinez have each allowed 9, which qualifies them for the lowest amount allowed among pitchers to qualify. Shutout leaders in the American League, Masahiro Tanaka has thrown 5 complete game shutouts now. Garrett Cole 2 behind him with 3. Jake Odorizzi and Jose Barrios tied with the third most. They're both at 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom still at 5. Zach Wheeler second most with 3. Sandy Alcantara, Aaron Nola, Merrill Kelly, Walker Buehler, and Clayton Kershaw have all thrown 2. Strikeout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole still at the top with 186. 8 behind him is Lucas Giolito, who has 178. And Jake Odorizzi rounds out the top 3 with 170. In the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 189. Chris Archer the next best with 166. Yu Darvish and Clayton Kershaw each tied with the third most. They're both at 165. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers, Masahiro Tanaka the leader with 5 complete games thrown this year. Garrett Cole has 3. Aaron Savali, Jake Odorizzi, Jose Barrios, and Corey Kluber each have 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom the leader with 5. Zach Wheeler 1 behind him with 4, and Aaron Nola rounds out the top 3 with 3. Innings pitched leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu has 160 in the third innings recorded, and in the National League, Steven Strasburg has 159 in the third innings pitched. Walks allowed among American League pitchers, Daniel Norris, Jordan Zimmerman, Jose Urquidy, and Carlos Carrasco all have the least amount of walks allowed. They've allowed 30. And in the National League, Brett Anderson has allowed the least amount of walks with 31. Whip leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the lowest at a 107, Masahiro Tanaka second lowest at a 108, and Sean Manaea third lowest at a 109. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has the lowest at a 104, Marcus Stroman second lowest at a 108, and Steven Strasburg third lowest at a 109. Pitching war leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the highest at a 4.3, Masahiro Tanaka's at a 3.9, and Kenta Maeda rounds out the top three with a 3.3. In the National League, Jacob deGrom leads with a 4.1, Walker Buehler second highest WAR total at a 3.9, and Aaron Nola third highest with a 3.7. Batting war leaders in the American League, DJ LeMahieu the leader with a 6.4 WAR, Yohan Moncada the next best with a 6.3, and Yasmani Grandal third best at a 6. And in the National League, Marcus Semien, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Christian Yelich all have 7.2 WARs that vary slightly from some of those insignificant figures that you can't see on your screen. But Semien best, Ronald Acuna Jr. second best, and Christian Yelich third best. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Tuesday, August the 4th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's virtual network.